What's up guys, it's Eric from Rare Candy and welcome back to another entry into our Rogue Rumble series where we take a look at some overlooked or underutilized cards and we try to make some rogue deck ideas out of them. So for today we are looking at a Zoroark variant featuring Florges. And you guys might be thinking, well, how is Zoroark possibly a rogue deck? And I kind of agree with you there. Zoroark of course is a pretty popular Pokemon, but the partner that we have for it today is going to be a little bit unorthodox. It's going to be a card that came out in Forbidden Light that hasn't had too much attention, and that is going to be Florges. But first, let's recap on Zoroark real quick just to go over what it does. So Zoroark, of course, is going to be the centerpiece of the deck, our main attacker. Has that amazing trade ability once during your turn before you attack. You may discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. And then Ride is speeding for just a DCE 20 for every Pokemon that you have in play. So we have this nice little two-shotting attacker that can also help us draw through our deck and draw exactly what we need. So you guys are probably plenty familiar with why Zoroark is good, but let's take a look at Florges. So Florges, this is going to be the new one from Forbidden Light, like I mentioned, and the reason we're playing it is for this ability, a Wondrous Gift. Once during your turn before you attack, you may flip a coin. If heads, put an item card from your discard pile on top of your deck. And now Florges does have an attack as well, but we don't run any fairy energy in this deck, so really not too relevant in this particular list. But Wondrous Gift is definitely an interesting ability. Now, I think unfortunately, it is a coin flip, so that means half the time it isn't going to work, and it requires getting a stage 2 into play, so it's a lot of work just to get this ability up and running. But when it does work, it has a ton of synergy with our Zoroark, because we can just grab an item from our discard pile, put it on top of our deck, then use trade to draw exactly what we need. So this is really nice because we can maybe get Field Blowers or Ultra Balls, or more importantly, Puzzle of Time. That's going to be a huge resource in Zoroark decks, and the fact that we can reuse those with this ability actually is pretty good. Whenever this ability works, it's fantastic, but like I said, it is a stage 2 and the ability is a flip, so it's a little bit of a trade-off there, but definitely gives our Zoroark decks a little bit of a consistency boost sometimes. But going on to the rest of the Pokemon line, really streamlined, nothing else too fancy. We have our 2 psychic tech attackers here. Mew EX, of course, for that versatile ability. We can copy attacks of any Pokemon in play. We just need the right energy to do so. So, of course, we can copy Riotous Beating to hit Psychic weak Pokemon like Buzzwole GX or Naganadel GX or the Baby Buzzwole for weakness, and more easily be able to take knockouts on Psychic weak Pokemon. Similarly, we also have the Mewtwo from Evolutions as well with that Psychic attack, 20 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So this is another way we can take knockouts on these Psychic weak Pokemon while only giving up 1 prize. And also, speaking of 1 prize Pokemon, we are running 1 copy of the Breakthrough Zoroark, the quote-unquote baby Zoroark. Has this ability stand in once during your turn before you attack. If this Pokemon's on your bench, you may switch it with your active. So a nice little ability, very similar to the Dawnwing's Necrozma GX that we've seen running around lately. And then it has Mind Jack, which is also a really solid just attack for a single DCE, 10 plus 30 for every Pokemon on your opponent's bench. So actually, if they have a full bench with a choice band, you're hitting for 190, which is fantastic against a lot of the different decks right now in the current format. Another reason we're running this one is because unlike some of the other Zoroark variants that typically run around, our support Pokemon in this deck isn't an attacker of any kind. So this isn't a Golisopod or a Lycanroc or anything like that. Florges isn't going to be attacking, so I felt like we needed one other decent backup attacker in the list for at some point. So that's why we were playing the baby Zoroark here. And then just of course to round out the list, or round out the Pokemon line in the list, we have 3 copies of Tapu Lele GX for that Wonder Tag ability. Search out supporters out of our deck whenever we bench it, and Energy Drive is also a decent little single attachment attack that we can fall back on at some point too if we need to. So a pretty streamlined Pokemon line. Guys, let's head over to the trainer cards though. Going on to the supporters, very standard stuff for Zoroark decks. We have, of course, our 3 Bridget just to get set up in the early game. We definitely need to get out our basics as quick as possible. And even though this is kind of, a thicker count of Bridget than, non-Zoroark decks, we can always trade these extra copies away later in the game if need be. Other standard stuff, 3 Cynthia, 3 N, 3 Guzma, all very standard inclusions here. 1 copy of Acerola though, very nice. We get to put one of our Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and all cards attached to it back into our hand. So very nice against decks that will 2-shot us. We can pick up those damaged Pokemon and heal them off that way. but then we're also playing one copy of Mallow as well. So we get to search our deck for 2 cards, put them on top of our deck, and then with Zoroark we can just use trade to draw those cards immediately. So this is really nice at grabbing. Let's say for example we have Florges in hand, we can grab a rare candy with Mallow. We can also grab things like Puzzles of Time to maybe complete that double puzzle combo that we need to do. So just a nice card I've always really enjoyed in Zoroark variants. Let's see, heading over to the rest of the list, a lot of standard stuff for Zoroark decks. 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Puzzle of Time. I've mentioned this a couple times at this point. It's that dual effect item card that we have right now. If you play one from hand, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put them back in any order. Has some synergy with trade, but really the reason we are playing it is for the second effect. If you play 2 of these at the same time, get any 2 cards from your discard pile back into your hand. So this is really nice, especially when we combine this with Florges. That will allow us to reuse these Puzzles of Times at different points, which is actually really big at getting back crucial resources. So even though we are playing 4 Ultra Ball, also playing 1 copy of Timer Ball. I think some Zoroark variants in the past have played Evo Soda as a way of getting their Zoroarks up and running a little bit quicker. But I'm opting for Timer Ball here just because we are playing the Florges. It will give us an out to get that as well. Now, of course, the downside of Timer Ball is that it is a coin flip, but you only need to really flip heads once to get an effect or a decent effect out of this card. So with the 2 coin flips that it gives you, you have decent odds of actually getting an effect from this card. See, 1 Stretcher as a form of recovery. We don't play any basic energy in this list as well, so this is definitely superior to Super Odd in this particular type of deck. 3 Rare Candy. This is going to allow us to skip the middle evolution and go straight into our Florges. If you do notice, we aren't actually playing any of the middle evolution. We are just playing the 3 Flabebe and the 2 Florges. And real quick, I will mention, I forgot to point this out, we are choosing to play the one, I believe it's back from Generations, has 40 HP. The attack isn't that great, but like I said, has 40 HP, which is a little bit better than some of the 30 HP ones that we have in format. Let's see, and getting on to the rest of the item cards, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting because we have Florges to reuse them. We have 1 copy of Max Potion, so heal all damage from one of our Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy from that Pokemon. Luckily for us, our Zoroarks attack for a single energy, just 1 double colorless energy. So whenever we Max Potion, we can just attach 1 more energy and keep on attacking. And combined with things like Puzzles of Time and Florges, we can reuse this throughout the course of a game if need be. Similarly, 1 copy of Enhanced Hammer as well. Discard 1 special energy from our opponent's Pokemon, which is nice against opposing Zoroark decks or even Buzzle decks that run things like Strong Energy and things like that. And like I said, with Max Potion combined with Puzzles of Time and Florges, this is another card we can pretty easily abuse throughout the course of a game. 1 copy of Energy Loto here. So look at the top 7 cards of your deck, reveal an energy you find there, put it into your hand, shuffle the other cards back into your deck. So one thing I will point out about this deck, we are only running 4 double colorless energy in this list. No other energy, unlike Golisopod variants or Lycanroc variants where you play some copies of other energy. We are exclusively attacking with DCE, so in order to offset that, we do need to run, I think, at least 1 copy of Energy Lotto to increase our chances of hitting our DCEs whenever we need them. Let's see, 2 copies of Field Blower, discarding tool cards and stadium cards, pretty standard stuff here. Also have 2 copies of Choice Band to increase our damage output a little bit more, and then 2 copies of Floatstone just to give our Pokemon free retreat. And I believe to round out the trainer cards, we just have 1 copy of Parallel City as well. Even though it is only 1 copy, we can reuse this with Puzzles of Time, so something to keep in mind. Definitely good against a number of decks in the format. If we have that blue side facing them, our opponent can only have 3 bench Pokemon, so definitely good against opposing Zoroark decks and Malamar decks. I think most notably are some of the more popular ones Parallel is especially good against. And then 4 double colorless energy just to round out the list like I already mentioned. So yeah guys, that is going to be the list we're going to be trying out for this. Like I said, we're going all in on Zoroark, no backup attackers, just trying to increase our consistency as much as possible with this Florges. But let's head over to the battle portion of the video and I'll show you how this thing looks in action. Alrighty guys, we're going to get into a game here, just going to call the coin flip. And we do win the coin flip, definitely good. We want to go first, try to get set before our opponent can. And okay, this hand is pretty bad. I mean, definitely a good thing we are going first here, but no Bridget, no Ultra Ball. I mean, luckily we do have that in, but this is definitely not how you want your first turn to go with a Zoroark deck. And okay, so it looks like we're going against a like Necrozma deck. I'm not sure if it's going to be Ultra Necrozma or just like the Dawn Wings and the regular Necrozma. That's probably a safe assumption at least. And here we're just going to bench the Zorua and pass. So it's almost kind of like we just gave up our first turn because we have the Bridget ready to go for next turn. So like I said, it's almost as if we went second here. So really not the end of the world. Now unfortunately after this Bridget we're not going to have a whole lot to work with, but we do have double puzzle in hand. So if our opponent you know, is able to take out this Lele, we can always grab like this N and the Lele back with the Puzzles of Time if need be. But I think we're still okay for the moment. And here, our opponent's going to go for a Max Elixir. Gonna fail, okay. I'm glad to see that. And they're going to fail their other one. Okay, so big whiff from our opponent, and they have a Mysterious Treasure. I think they may have actually messed this up a little bit. I think if they were going for some Max Elixirs, they should have played their Mysterious Treasure first, thinning out that extra card of their deck. But hey, I am happy to take it. But here we're just going to bridge it. Grab a couple Zoruas and a Flabebe. We really only need the one Flabebe. More than likely our opponent is not going to target it down just because Zorua is definitely more of a threat. And also Tapu Lele gives up 2 prizes, so I think we're safe there. And ouch. It looks like we have 2 double Colorless Energies prized. So that's actually pretty big here. So we're really going to have to guard those double Colorless Energies until we can get them out of the prizes. And here we do have the Mewtwo in hand. Just thinking, do we bench it? That's really all I'm thinking about. Do we actually bench this thing? And I think it's probably okay. It can hit Necrozma GX for weakness, so we can bench it and kind of threaten some damage with this thing at some point if need be. Here, opponent is just going to go for a Cynthia. Okay, and they do get their first Malamar active. So what, they just need a Psychic Energy from the discard pile and that attachment they had from hand. They should be able to take a knockout on our Tapu Lele. And yep, we're going to see a Prismatic Burst taking a knockout. But on the plus side, even though our opponent is going down on just the 4 prizes, we have double puzzle in hand, so we can actually get this Lele and that N back and punish our opponent for taking that early knockout here. So here we can go for the double puzzle, going for Lele and N. We don't really want to see Bridget anymore at this point. So here we'll just go for the N. We could have benched the Flabebe, but I think we really only need the one in play. Rather save that bench spot for a Tapu Lele. And here, I mean, this hand is workable. We can get a Zoroark here, get rid of Max Potion and Guzma. A little bit unfortunate. We don't have too much else to really work with here, but I think it's just important for us to get an attack off and start putting on some pressure of our own here. So we can get the double Colorless Energy down, then we can trade, but what do we get rid of? We already got rid of one Guzma. I think we have to get rid of the rare candy here. And we hit Florges. Excellent. That would happen right after discarding our rare candy, but you know what? I think we can survive. We don't need the Florges just yet anyways. I guess we could have gotten back a puzzle, but really not too integral right now. We really actually need draw supporters more than anything rather than Puzzle of Time. But here, opponents can play Mysterious Treasure. Getting rid of that Giratina promo, definitely a good card to toss in this matchup. So they are going to get down another Malamar. And here they can do a couple things. They could potentially power up Dawn Wings, Necrozma, and attack. But I think attacking with Tapu Lele is probably going to be a little bit better here. Just because that Dawn Wings, Necrozma is actually weak to Zoroark. So I think definitely better just going for the Lele in this situation. And here we're going to see a Guzma. Interesting. And they're going to go for a Tapu Cure GX. Interesting. Really not sure our opponent's line of play there. Here we did get a rare candy, which is nice. But like, if they were going to commit 2 energy to this Lele, then I feel like they should have taken the knockout on the Flabebe. If they're going to Tapu Cure, they were, I think, better off just attaching to the Lele and then using their Malamar to get an energy on that Necrozma. So I think kind of a weird little situation we have there. But anyway, so going on for our turn, we can trade away this Rescue Stretcher. And we get Peril City, actually a really nice card to have here. So definitely going to get that down. I really want to play it while Lele is in the active spot. I am going to Guzma this turn, but I specifically wanted to use it while Lele was still in the active, because otherwise that would have been an easy target for them to discard. So here we're going to bring up this Malamar and take a knockout here. We could have actually brought out the Necrozma, got the first hit in with it, but you know what? Not too stressed about it. I think in the long term, taking out Malamars is going to help us win the long game here. So right now, this Necrozma really isn't threatening anything. I think they've already gone through a few Max Elixirs, and so they would need Max Elixir, Attach, and an Energy to start doing some damage. And we're Resistance. I don't even think they're taking a knockout right now, because it's, what, 10 plus 60 for every energy discarded. So yeah, we wouldn't even be knocked out by this thing. So alrighty, so our opponent is going to get down under Inkay, that's fine. And here we're just going to see an energy drive from our opponent. Okay, do get another double colorless energy, which is kind of nice. Here we can use Wondrous Gift, and we flip tails again. A little bit annoying, so let's go ahead and trade. We can get rid of this Ultra Ball pretty safely, I think. And okay, nothing really too special here. We do have Field Blower, so we could actually get rid of these Fighting Fury Belts. That is something worth noting, I suppose. That will make our opponent's Pokemon a little bit easier to knock out. And the question is, what do we do? Do we retreat and attack with Mewtwo, or do we just swing with the Zoroark? But I'm thinking we have to just retreat into this Mewtwo. We really need to guard our Zoroark right now, just because we haven't really had a whole lot going on as far as draw power. We only have the single Zoroark. We haven't had a draw support the last couple turns, so I think we really just need to save this Zoroark. And this is actually a situation where our opponent putting that extra energy on Lele is biting them a little bit, just because we can do a little bit more damage here. We can do 60, which actually means a Riot Beating with a full bench can knock out this Lele later in the game if need be. So let's see what our opponent is going to do here. What I'm really afraid of is like a Psychic Recharge Attachment Guzma on our Zoroark. That would be pretty bad for us, just because we have nothing else to really work with at this point. We're going to be in top deck mode. Our opponent's going to get a Floatstone down and an N. Okay, that's what I like to see. Yeah, our hand was definitely not good there. We had Zoroark, so we could have survived. But luckily, this hand is much, much better. We have a Puzzle of Time, another Zoroark, a Bridget to easily toss away with trade. Okay, so what do we do here? That's the question. I think we go for a Wondrous Gift and try to get Puzzle of Time back. Yeah, that seems good to me. Nothing else too much we really want to get, so we'll put that Puzzle of Time back on top of our deck to give us the option to double puzzle here at some point this turn if we choose to. Okay, so we'll get that. And what do we do? We have a lot of options, actually. We can take a knockout on this Tapu Lele. We could take a knockout on Malamar. So I think those are going to be our two best options. Unfortunately, I don't think we can actually get a knockout on... Well, actually, if we had Choice Band Guzma, we would be able to actually take a knockout on this Necrozma, I believe. But we're not going to have access to that. So what do we get here? So we could go for a Mallow, maybe for next turn, or even this turn, I guess, but I don't really know how much we actually need right now. Maybe just another Zoroark. I think maybe we could go for Acerola, though. We could pick up maybe this damaged Zoroark GX and get an additional trade off with it. We can, pick it up and then evolve that other Zorua. Oh, actually, no, we should have done. We should have traded before. Yeah, we definitely should have traded before the Lele there. Well, I guess not necessarily. We could have maybe gone for a Mallow, so I think it's okay. But here, okay, we got a third Zoroark, so I actually don't even need the Acerola on the Zoroark. I guess we could still heal it, and pick it up just to heal it off a little bit for the turn. We don't have another supporter. I think we really are going to favor here anyways. So what do we do? We could even pick... Yeah, actually what we should have done, I think, we could have just picked up the Mewtwo, because we could have got our double colorless energy back that way as well. But nevertheless, we can still fish those two double colorless energies out of the discard pile with Puzzle of Time. We definitely are going to need both of them, since those are the only ones we have access to currently. But yeah, I think maybe we should have just picked up the Mewtwo here. I think that would have been a little bit better in hindsight, and then just save the double puzzles for another turn. But nevertheless, it still kind of works out. Like I said, we get both of our double colorless energies, which are kind of the only things we're really wanting to fish out of the discard pile right now anyways. Oh, but we do hit one off the prize. That is definitely good as well. And so we'll have to see how our opponent is going to be able to respond. They're going to need a Floatstone. I'm sure that's going to be the first order of business for our opponent. That way they can retreat this Malamar. Or if they have a Guzma already, that could be pretty good. But here we're just going to see a pass. So our opponent must not have a very strong hand right now. And I'm completely okay with that. It's actually, I think we're in a really good position to win the game since they did whiff, taking a knockout here. So what we can do here, we can trade. I guess we can get rid of this Mallow. I think that's okay. Okay, we have a Cynthia, so we can get rid of that as well. So here what I'm thinking about, I'd kind of like to maybe go for like a Guzma play and take a knockout on one of these Necrozmas with Mewtwo. I think that could be nice. So if we can hit a Guzma off of this trade, that would be good. We can get rid of Cynthia. I think that's a safe card to get rid of. And we whiff it, but you know what? We're still in a good spot because we can still take a knockout on this Malamar this turn, and then next turn, all we have to do is take our final knockout with Mewtwo, or I believe we still actually have Mew EX left in deck, if I remember correctly, so we can just take a knockout that way as well if we choose to. So here we'll get a double Colress energy down on this Mewtwo, just in case we need that for next turn. So what do we do? We are going to go down to 2 prizes. We could play Ultra Ball and thin some cards out of our hand, but our opponent didn't even play supporter, so I think we're honestly fine to just hang onto this hand. We'll get down the Float Stone just in case to thin our hand a little bit, but I think we're still safe to just hang on to the rest of this hand. So we're going to get our last double Colress energy. That is fine by me. And so our opponent needs an N, and they need to take a knockout. That's what they really need here. I don't know if they have access to that or not, but that is definitely what they need for sure. So let's see what they're going to do here. The 3-card hand, you can't have that many potential decisions here. So we're going to see a Psychic Energy come down on the other Necrozma. And a Guzma. Okay, interesting. Going for the Lele. Oh yeah, well I guess that is the only thing they could take a knockout on currently, so that makes sense. And okay, so if that's the case, we actually just win because, like I said, I'm pretty sure we have Mew still in deck anyways. We'll get rid of Lele, and this is Aruba. Go for the Mew. And now what we can do is we can bench this Mew with a double Colress energy, and since this Necrozma GX is weak to Psychic, we can just copy Riotous Beating and blast this thing into oblivion with Riotous Beating. So yeah, we're going to smack that thing for 300, and we are going to take this game against this Malamar deck. So let's head over to another game though and see what we can make happen with this Florges deck again. And yet again, we are going to win the coin flip. I won't say no to that. And here our opponent has a Ho-Oh deck box, or like a Shining Legends deck box and sleeves. I'm not sure how much that is going to tell us about their deck. Okay, they are going to take a mulligan, so I guess we'll find out. And this is Buzzwole. Okay, this is not something I'm too excited to see, but you know what? We do have a couple of decent Psychic type attackers to maybe deal with some of these Buzzwoles. Alrighty, so we have Ultra Ball. We get rid of Ultra Ball, and what else? Maybe Guzma. I don't think we need Guzma this turn, or the next turn, so I think that's fine. So what we can do here is go for a Lele, and then we can go for a Bridget and start getting set up. So we'll do that. What do we grab? I mean, 2 Zoruas is definitely what we want to see most, but is the third Pokemon going to be Flabebe or maybe Mewtwo? Oh wait, is Mewtwo actually prized? Yeah, I think Mewtwo might be prized here, which is unfortunate. But anyways, let's take a look through our deck. We have Parallel in there, that's good. We have all of our puzzles. We have a DCE prize, which is slightly annoying. Luckily, we do have the Baby Zoroark in deck, which also can be good. If our opponent does set up the Baby Buzzwole, we can maybe knock it out with that. But here, our opponent's going to get a Fighting Energy and a Choice Band and just Sycamore. Okay, that's what I like to see. I was kind of worried about a first turn Guzma here. And nice, our opponent got rid of Lycanroc, 2 Energy, and a Super Rod. That's a great Sycamore to see. I'm not sure how many Lycanrocs our opponent is playing, but lately these days, I feel like Buzzwole decks have been playing slimmer counts of their Lycanroc line. So that actually might mean we won't see any Lycanroc for the rest of the game. If that is the case, that's huge for us, since that's actually usually the hardest Pokemon for us to deal with against these Buzzwole decks. So here we can go for a Max Potion. I think we just heal off this Lele, since we're going to try to tank some hits with that. And nice, we actually hit 2 heads on the timer ball. We only needed the one, just because we want to get this Zoroark GX into play. If we had Rare Candy, that would have been fantastic, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. But here we're going to Cynthia. And okay, so we still have some trades available to us, so let's get rid of this Bridget. We really want that double colorless energy. Okay, not double colorless energy, and we can trade again where we get rid of, we could get rid of Ace Roll or even Mallow. Well, we might want Mallow next turn even for like a double colorless energy. Maybe Ace Sorola? Like, I kind of want to keep everything we have in hand. And unfortunately we whiff the double colorless energy. Now I'm kind of bummed we got rid of Ace Roll because our opponent is going to swing on us with this Jet Punch. So Ace Roll actually could have potentially been good for next turn, but at the same time we still need energy, so we probably would have just played a different supporter anyways. Your opponent is going to get down a Floatstone on their Remoraid and a Sycamore. Okay, we're going to see a Max Elixir. And it does work. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't, just because our opponent's already gone through, you know, they have 2 energy discard pile, 2 energy in play prior to the Elixir. So their odds that their Elixir is working are going to be a little bit slimmer for the rest of the game. And here they do have Octillery, so that is going to kind of help our opponent against those pesky late game ends. But the good thing is our opponent, they're having kind of a modest setup. You know, we haven't seen like a turn 2 Absorption GX or anything like that. They're just kind of taking their time using Jet Punch here. But here we can use Trade. Definitely going to get rid of this Bridget. Okay, we do have Double Puzzle, so is there anything that we want to get with that? We could actually, one thing we could do is go for, is actually play Mallow. I think that could be good because we could get double colorless energy and a Florges. I think that would be pretty nice here. We're gonna have 3 trades available to us, so we could even potentially trade again before committing to the Mallow. So we could do that, or no, I think we should probably play it because we want to use 1 trade to draw 2 cards with Mallow, and then we're going to want 1 more trade to maybe draw a card with Florges. So yeah, we'll do that. I think that seems good. And we actually have Double Puzzle. We can get Max Potion to heal off this Lele before we attach potentially. So, or you know what, I'm not even sure if we're really in danger of being knocked out by Buzzwole next turn. Because if they get a Strong Energy Choice Band, what is that? Yeah, I think we could potentially make this work. It's a little risky. Maybe if they have enough damage modifiers, they might be able to pull off something. But let's see, Jet Punch is doing 50 right now, 80 with Choice Band, so 100 with a Strong as well. So actually, you know what? I think we're okay right now. Unless our opponent plays Regirock EX, that could be... Well, actually, no, we would still be hanging on with 10 HP, so I think we're in a fine spot. So, yeah, what we can do is, next turn, we can actually Max Potion this Lele or use Acerola. But actually, you know, I don't even know why. We shouldn't have even played Puzzle of Time this turn. I think we definitely should have just hung on to that for next turn. So, I think I got a little bit too excited about being able to use the puzzles there. But nevertheless, I still think it's fine. I could definitely see us using Acerola and Max Potion throughout the course of this game anyway, so not really stressing too much about it. Here, opponent's going to Sycamore again. And we don't have a Rockruff on our opponent's side of the field, which is really nice because we can, I think, deal with these Buzzwoles. I really think we can. So your opponent is going to Jet Punch, doing 80 to our Lele, and that's fine because we have Acerola. So we can actually just pick up this Tapu Lele here, and let's see if we can actually get Choice Band. 20, 40, 60, 90, wouldn't be enough to get knockout, but nevertheless we can tank hits with this Lele a little bit more. Our opponent has been spreading around their energy a good bit, so they're not really threatening any one-hit knockouts anywhere, which is really nice actually. So we can trade. We can get rid of this Baby Zoroark. I don't think we're going to need that currently, since we don't even have any bench space. And let's see, we can start getting back some Puzzles of Times if we use our Florges, but what else do we really want this turn? I'm trying to think. we could just, I don't know. I think we're actually in a pretty good spot here. Nothing really in particular that we're digging for. Okay. So yeah, we'll just ace roll up this Tapu Lele here. And yeah, we'll promote this fresh one. Well, actually we could even attack with Zoroark GX, but then we open ourselves up to the Baby Buzzwole knocking us out back. So I think we're fine, Larry, just to keep going, just tanking hits with these Leles. And here we're going to flip tails on Florges yet again. Kind of annoying. This is kind of the downside of this card. But yeah, so I think we'll just Energy Drive. We could attach the Choice Band, but either way, we're going to have to 3-shot this Buzzwole. It doesn't really do too much for us in terms of our math, so I'd rather just hang on to it just in case. Our opponent does play Field Blower or, you know, anything crazy like that, or, you know, has some shenanigans to maybe deal with the fact that we have Choice Band. So I think it's fine just to save it for now. But at the same time, a lot of these Buzzwole decks don't play Field Blower, but on PTCGO, anything's possible. You never know what your opponent is going to have. So let's see what they're going to do this turn. I'd imagine we're going to see a Guzma. I think that would be a safe assumption. Our opponent really needs to get this Buzzwole out of the active spot since we are threatening a knockout this turn. Or on our next turn, I should say. And here you can see they're starting to power up this Baby Buzzwole in anticipation of us knocking out this Buzzwole here. Here we're just going to see yet again another Jet Punch. I am perfectly fine with that. And yeah, we can trade. We can get rid of... Probably think we get rid of Flabebe. Not really an important card at this point. We actually get Parallel City. That's pretty big. Because our opponent probably doesn't really want to get rid of too much on their bench. Unfortunately, I think they have to get rid of probably Diancie Prism Star. And then maybe the Baby Buzzwole with only 1 energy. Okay, they're actually going to get rid of the GX. I am fine with that. So yeah, Parallel definitely coming in clutch just now here. So we've done, what, like 1 trade so far. We can get rid of this N because we're going to go down prizes after this turn. Alrighty, and we do have 1 trade left. We could use Florges first. So I think instead of Florges, what I'd like to do is actually hit the Mewtwo from Evolutions off this trade without having to burn this Ultra Ball, getting rid of more resources. Yeah, I think we'll just go for trade. And we get in our double Chorus energy. That's fine by me. Alright, so we'll Ultra Ball here. We can get rid of... Oh wait, Mewtwo is prized. I forgot about that already. So here we can go for the Zoroark GX. So my bad guys, I forgot what we had in deck. We've been drawing so many cards ever since. I kind of lost track of that. But nevertheless, I think we're okay. I was kind of hoping to hit Mewtwo there and take a knockout on that Buzzwole. But... I think we're still okay because what we can do here is... I think we can actually just attack with this other Lele. I think that would be fine. Or we could even let our opponent just take the knockout on this thing and punish them with an N or something next turn if we choose to, or something crazy like that, but... But yeah, I kind of like this too. What we can do here is we can just max Potion. And even though we were going to, like, if we benched the other Lele, we would still have to burn the max potion either way. And at least this gives us a bench spot just in case we want to bench this Lele and get a supporter instead. So I think that's probably fine here. And right now, I don't think we're in any real danger of being knocked out. Because right now, this Baby Buzzwole is only hitting us for 120. So they would need a Strong Energy and a Choice Band. Oh, but here they have... a Guzma, slightly annoying, so now they can take a knockout on our Zoroark GX, but to be honest, I kind of feel okay about this. So they are going to Beast Ring again, and they're going to fail. Okay, so maybe our opponent is out of basic energy. If that's the case, we can finally start to make use of this Enhanced Hammer. I've been saving this all game to get rid of a Beast Energy or a Strong Energy or something like that, so... Alright, so... I think what our game plan here is we're going to Guzma up this bench Buzzwole and knock it out with Mew. I think that's kind of the course of action we need to take here. So here we'll promote the Lele. I think that's fine for the moment. Alrighty, so we can do Wondrous Gift and get back another puzzle. Actually, no, let's wait a second. before we do that. We can probably safely trade once before we commit to that. We'll get rid of Cynthia here. We don't have many cards left in deck anyways. Get Rescue Stretcher. That's actually a card I don't mind seeing. We can get back a Zorua potentially. Here we'll Wonder Skiff. Nice. So we can actually get back this second Puzzle of Time, which is definitely nice. And we can trade. I think we probably get rid of a Lele. That seems fine to me at this point. And we have some more puzzles. Definitely cards I don't mind seeing here. So what we can do is we play the Enhanced Hammer. We get rid of the energy there. And we can Guzma up this Buzzwole on the bench and take a knockout with Mew. And then this other Buzzwole with only 1 energy actually won't have a way to respond because we won't be on 4 prizes anymore, which means that Sledgehammer actually can't knock out Mew EX. Just try to think, what do we get back with... Do we get back anything with these Puzzles of Time? That's what I'm kind of wondering about. And then we have Rescue Stretcher. Do we get back Zorua? Or a Zoroark line? But honestly, I think we're fine. We can make do with just 2 Zoroarks. I think they're not really in any danger of being knocked out. But we will get down the Floatstone on the floor just in case of like an N and a knockout in the same turn or something like that. But here, we will fish that Mewtwo out of our prizes. Probably don't need it at this point, but hey, we do have the option to use it potentially at some point if need be. And we just get the victory screen. So I think having the Enhanced Hammer there was really big, being able to deny our opponent the return KO on that Mew EX. Hanging on to Enhanced Hammer finally paid off at the end. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this look at this Zoroark GX Florges deck. Definitely a fun deck to make use of. Being able to reuse things like Puzzles of Time, Max Potion, E-Hammer, etc. definitely feels really nice in this deck. As usual, feel free to like and subscribe, and if you can support this channel by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or by picking up something from our online store at rarecandytcg.com, it would mean a lot. But with that, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you for the next one.